Hi, Capricorn. My name is Darlene Dotson, and this is your destiny of truth for February of 2021. On the 1st, we have the sun in Aquarius in the second house, squaring Mars in Taurus in the fifth house. And I tell people I have Sun square Mars in my natal chart, and it's an aspect to help you to get over being your worst enemy. And you value, you got to look at what you value in life and how it differs from the actions that you're taking with your children, in your creative projects, in your creativity, okay? Because you're doing something within your foundation that you value that's not in line with what you truly want. This is something that you have to overcome. Yes, the second house rules our values. It rules our finances, our ethics, and our morals. And there's something that you do in this area of your life that doesn't match the actions that you're taking, again, with your children, in your creative life, or your dating life. You've got to get these two on the same ground in order to be able to put your values, to merge the two energies together. And then once you do, you'll see how your life starts to turn around. Now, we also have, on the 1st, we've got Venus moving into Aquarius, into your second house. Now, Venus in Aquarius, it can either make you one of two things, depending on which vibration. Can make you very giving and altruive, okay? Or it can make you very me. So you've got to look, with it being the second house, what you truly value, what your ethics and morals are. Because Venus is, gonna let you see what you value, what you love. And this is over the next 30 days. Now, okay, and it's also Venus being in the second house is going to let you bring money to you a little bit more easier. Now, on the 5th and the 6th, depending on what coast you're on, we have Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius in your second house. Well, on this day, Saturn restricts what it touches. And Saturn is straight up going to restrict your money. He's going to restrict you from having the things that you value, because you're definitely, with Mercury retrograde in this area of your chart, you're going to be looking at what you value a little bit more. Now, on the 6th, we have Venus in Aquarius in your second house, squaring Uranus in Taurus in your 5th house. And you want things to change with your children, or with your creative life, or in your dating life. But what you value is getting in the way of it, and that's all I can tell you. Whether you value money or material things, this is, the thing that's getting in the way of those changes. Now, on the 8th, you've got to look at the Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde. This is the second hit that it's taken because Mercury is now retrograde. And the Sun conjunct Mercury is a combust. Okay, there can be an argument that happens this day over finances, but it's definitely to do with an issue from the past. Okay, so you're going to have to look at this. My suggestion with this energy being so combust, don't argue with anybody. Okay, take a step back. Don't answer the call. Do what you got to do, but just step back, okay, and let the energy pass, and then you'll be able to talk about it smoothly, because once you say it, it can't be taken back. Now on the 10th, we have Mercury retrograde in Aquarius in your second house, squaring Mars, okay, in Taurus in your 5th house. And again, the actions that you've been taking with your children or in creative projects or in your dating life don't match up with your values, or they don't match up with your material wealth. You've got to really think about this. Go back over that old ground, because you want things to be right in your life. Well, in order for it to be right, you've got to really look at things and look at what you value. Is what you value worth all of this? Now, on the 11th, we've got Venus in Aquarius in the 2nd house, conjunct Jupiter in Aquarius in the 2nd house. Now, Venus conjunct Jupiter, okay, it's going to expand what it touches. And for you, it could expand your financial situation in a good way or a bad way, depending on how things have been going. But again, you've got Mercury retrograde here. So don't take any action to fix it if it is in a bad way. And don't take any action to move forward with it in a good way unless it has to do with an issue from the past. Because that is the only way that it'll work, if it has to do with the past situation, because you're revising something then. You're revisiting it. You're just redoing it. But anything new? No. Okay. Then on the 12th and the 13th, we have got Mercury retrograde conjunct Venus in Aquarius in your 2nd house. Now, Mercury, again, is retrograde in your 2nd house. Think about things. Don't take action yet. Think about it. Talk about it with those that you love, about the financial plan, but don't move forward yet, because on the 13th, you've got Taurus in Mars in the 5th house, sextiling Neptune in Pisces in the 3rd house. Now, this is a sextile. You can let the sextile energy pass you by and you don't have to use it. That's up to you. because you do have to put the work in if you want to manifest this. And you're putting your energy into your children, your dating life, um, or your creative projects. And if you do, you're going to be communicating, okay, about an abuse. Well, it could be about an addiction if it's of the lower vibration. But if it's of the higher vibration, it could be you're communicating where lovingly and compassionately with the child, or in a creative project, or in your dating life. Okay. Neptune doesn't have boundaries, and it's in Pisces, its own sign. So, and it has to be communications that have no boundaries, and, or day to day affairs, or, uh, you know, just something with this illusion or this lie or this addiction that has no boundaries, and you need to take action in a creative project with your children. Now, it could also be a higher realm if you're communicating in the higher aspect. Okay, creatively, you're using your psychic intuition in a creative endeavor, that's going to make you financially more stable. Then on the 14th, we've got Mercury retrograde conjunct Jupiter in the second house. And again, you're looking, and it's expanding issues of the things that you value in your life. It's expanding the issues of what's important to you materially, or financially. You're definitely having to look at these issues right now. Now, on the 17th, we have Saturn in Aquarius in your second house. And Saturn restricts what it touches. So Saturn's restricting something that you value, whether that be material wealth, financial. He could be restricting the values that you have as far as your ethics. And that's because there has to be a change that happens with your children, or your creative project, or in your dating life, because there's a challenge happening between Saturn and Uranus. These two are both power players, okay? Uranus wants change, okay? He's the innovator. He's, I want different. And you want a different foundation with your children. You want a different foundation in your creative projects or in your dating life. Well, if you do, you're going to have to build that stable foundation. Okay. And that means restricting things that you value in order to make these changes. Now, on the 18th, we have the sun entering Pisces in the third house. And this tells me you're going to be more compassionate in the way you talk to others. You're going to be more helpful, more loving, more giving of yourself. Okay, because it is the third house of communication. And Pisces again, and the sun, that's who you are at the deepest level. And you're going to be showing this. You're shining your light of who you are in the way that you communicate with others over the next month. Now, on the 18th, the 19th, we have got the sun in Aquarius in the second house, and that is squaring Mars in Taurus in your fifth house. And again, you're looking at the things you value, the money, okay, and how it's squaring the actions that you're taking with your children. You know, are these two conflicting? You've got to merge it together, okay? There's got to be a compromise here. You know, it can't be all one way for them and nothing for you. There's got to be a merging of the two energies, which means there's got to be some compromises that are given with the things that you value, you know, with the actions that you're taking with your children or in a creative project or in your dating life. Now, on the 20th, we have Mercury going direct in Aquarius in your second house. And where you were confused and you didn't know how to talk to another or express yourself, you know, or your mind being cloudy, it's all going to start coming into clarity now. And you're going to know the direction to go with the things that you value, with what you want in the world, with your finances, you know. And that's a good thing, because when you don't know, oh Lord, you know, it's not a good thing. Now, on the 24th, okay, we have Mars in Taurus in the fifth house, trining Pluto in Capricorn in the first house. Now, this is an energy that you do easily. You know, you just can't be lazy about it, because if you do, you know, the energy is going to pass you by and you're not even going to use it. And it's there for you to use. And you want to make changes. Well, you're putting actions into your children, your creative project, or your dating life, and it's going to transform who you are at your deepest level. It's transforming the self, and that's a good thing, because, you know, Capricorn, you want to transform. You don't want to be who you used to be, because that person got nowhere, okay? This person that you are now is going somewhere. You know your plans, you know your direction, and it's causing a big transformation for you. And the actions that you're taking with your children or your dating life or in creative projects are gonna transform your life if you strip away layers that are no longer needed in that dynamic. Now, on the 25th, we have Venus entering Pisces in your third house. You're going to be more loving, more compassionate, more giving to those that are around you, um, as well as the people, you know, that you love. But, you know, all your partnerships are going to see just how loving you are, just how compassionate you are, you know, and they're going to see that you're using your intuition to move forward. Now, that's your astrological forecast. Now we are using the Work Your Light Oracle cards for your monthly reading. And Capricorn, tell me about Capricorn for February. Capricorn, here it's so funny. Okay. It's time for you to break the chain, okay? The ancestral patterns. healing. You're rewriting your future. That goes perfectly in line of what you're looking at. You're looking at patterns of your values, of your ethics, of your morals, you know, material or monetary, or of course, the ethics and morals that are within you. Okay, and this happens with your children, or in your creative projects or your dating life. You're healing those relationships. You're healing within in order to change who you are so you can have a different pattern in life than what you've known, because you are rewriting your future. You've got Pluto in your first house, Capricorn. I mean, that is stripping away layers of who you have always been in order to get you to where you want to go, because you know who you are now. You are on much better footing with who you are than you have ever been. So keep rewriting your future, Capricorn, and just keep breaking the patterns that have held you back for way too long. Well, that is your forecast, Capricorn, for the month of February 2021. And know that I love you. And just keep doing what you're doing, because your future is so promising, Capricorn, with all that you have done and are trying to get rid of. Have a blessed day and a blessed month. Bye, Capricorn.